Ultra Luminary.
Hello. Welcome to Klinger Vocal Studio and our first recital of 2021. My name is Marcus Klinger, and since many of you are discovering this studio for the first time through this recital, allow me a moment to tell you a little bit about it. This year marks the beginning of my 25th year as a voice teacher, beginning at Salesian College Preparatory in Richmond, California in 1997, where my choir, story, and song will be meeting in person again in the fall semester. I'm a professional musician and stage actor with a San Francisco Bay Area Theater Critics Circle Award for Best Featured Actor and 35 years of professional piano experience. I was 3 at my first lesson. I had the benefit of studying under some of the greatest teachers and music directors in the Bay Area, predominantly the late, great Joe Barnett, with Pam Hicks and Janae batting cleanup. But let me tell you a little bit about how the online studio functions. I've been making professional orchestra tracks for my choir for years, so when I choose a song for one of my students, I start from scratch. This quarantine, I've saved what would have been my Starbucks money, combined it with some great educational discounts, and invested in some of the greatest virtual instruments and effects plugins in the industry. We learn and rehearse on these real pianos, hardwired into the Zoom system. And the voices are traveling directly into my high-definition ear monitors. And for all the songs, I make everyone a fully orchestrated track sent to the singers themselves. And if it's a little bit scary to sing alone on your side the first few times, it's okay. I make guide vocals for you with my voice in the track. And then I also send you an orchestra track to keep. Most of my students who have 30-minute lessons every week get a new song every 2 to 3 weeks. And we're able to quickly build up an impressive portfolio. The sheet music is always there for your auditions if you need it. For our recital tonight, we decided that the best way to deliver to you, our kind audience, the best experience was to pre-record the songs, mostly using iPhone mics or whatever we had at our houses. The raw tracks were then sent here to my studio where I could mix and master the final tracks, but also where I could run their voices through this Melodyne, an industry-standard pitch correction software, but that's not what I used it for. Now, yes, I told my students, sure, if one note out of 20 was a little off, I wouldn't let it ruin your take or your experience. I'd fix that. But what I really use it for is to send back a detailed snapshot, an EKG of the voice, showing pitch center, pitch drift, breath analysis, and a fascinating way to see how we are creating our favorite moments and how better to take the curves that are challenging. Joe always said 2 things. Your greatest power lies in your deepest relaxation. And within conformity, there is great freedom. Relaxation is the key to all things. Oh, I hope you enjoy tonight's music. Every note you're going to hear was created especially for you, with one exception, but I'll tell you about that when we get there. And all of our music tonight has been cleared through YouTube's fantastic copyright system, which is important to me. The artists have granted licenses for these songs to be used where applicable. I'll be here to very briefly introduce each singer and how they chose to present their music. My littles will be first names only because of reasons. And my first up is Stephanie in her first year of college, who recently learned computer animation for a class, and to my shock and astonishment, spent 10 hours animating what you are about to see. Steph is one of my favorite people, and her heart is in everything. Diligent to a fault, I love our journeys of discovery. Here is her take on Dolly Parton's Here You Come Again.
Right in the door, just like you done before, and wrap my heart around your little finger. Here you come again, just when I'm about to make it work without you. You look into my eyes and lie those pretty lies, and pretty soon I'm wondering how I came to doubt you. All you gotta do smile that smile, and there go all my defenses. Just leave it up to you, and in a little while, you're messing up my mind and filling up my senses. Here you come again, looking better than a body has a come again. And here I go. Here you come again, and here I go.
Next up, one of my piano students. I only have 3, but Erin, I've been teaching her since she was little, and she's one of my favorite people. Recently, we moved over to a classical book of music, so she wanted to take on this, Moonlight Sonata. And we used a little technology to identify the transients in the piano she was playing and sub it out for one of my virtual instruments. So what you're hearing is Erin on the Synchron stage playing a Yamaha CFX Grand. Cooper is new to me of this year, but has quickly grown to be one of my favorite people. A surfer by heart. I can give him some really cool pop rock music, and he knows just what to do with it. So we decided for this recital, we would give you, from our surfing king, The River of Dreams.
In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, from the mountains of faith to the river so deep. I must be looking for something sacred I lost. But the river is wide, and it's too hard to cross. Even though I know the river is wide, I walk down every evening and I still on the shore. I try to cross to the opposite side so I can finally find what I've been looking for. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, through a valley of fear to a river so deep. I've been searching for something taken out of my soul, something I never lose, something somebody stole. I don't know why I go walking at night, but I'm tired and I don't want to walk anymore. I hope it doesn't take the rest of my life until I find what it is that I've been looking for. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, through the jungle of doubt to a river so deep. I know I'm searching for something so undefined that it can only be seen by the eyes of the blind. In the middle of it, I'm not sure about life after this. God knows I've never been a spiritual man. Baptized by the river, I run to the river that runs to the promised land. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep, through the desert of truth, to the river so deep. We all end in the ocean, we all start in the streams. We're all carried along by the river of dreams. In the middle of the night.
Next up is Lily. Lily's one of my favorite people, and she's new to me this year as well. And Lily has decided to choose an epic YouTube viral song for her song to share with us today. She's celebrating a birthday at Six Flags and thought that would be the perfect place to make her video to invite you to a last cup of coffee.
conversation and drink our last cup of coffee. Someday we might be 80 and think about the different things we used to say. All the memories of you will just become a ghost of a smile caught in the wind. Someday it'll be the last day. I won't forget how it feels to be loved, to be remembered by someone as special as you. Someday I will drink the last cup of coffee with you. Someday we'll have our last conversation and drink our last cup of coffee. Someday we might be 80 and think about the different things we used to say. All the memories of you will just become a ghost of a smile caught in the wind. Someday it'll be the last day. I won't forget how it feels to be loved, to be remembered by someone as special as you. Someday I will drink the last cup of coffee with a smile.
Emily is one of my favorite people, and I've taught her since she was a little bitty. And she's going to college next year. She's going to Utah. So we thought, what a beautiful tribute to her life and her family if this was almost a look back, sort of pre-creating that first car ride leaving the house to go to college. So this is Emily, and this is Hard Candy Christmas.
Weather today in the greater Cincinnati area.
I love you so badly, I could.
They're solid plastic, so don't settle for imitation.
Hey, maybe I'll dye my hair. Maybe I'll move somewhere. Maybe I'll get a car. Maybe I'll drive so far that I'll lose track. Me, I'll bounce right back. Maybe I'll sleep real late. Maybe I'll lose some weight. Maybe I'll clear my junk. Maybe I'll just get drunk on apple wine. Me, I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow, but still I can't let sorrow bring me way down. Hey, maybe I'll learn to sew. Maybe I'll just lie low. Maybe I'll hit the boards. Maybe I'll count the stars until the dawn. Me, I will go on. Maybe I'll settle down. Maybe I'll just leave town. Maybe I'll have some fun. Maybe I'll meet someone and make him mine. Me, I'll be
And Emily is not the only talent in that family. Her sister Mandy has also been a client since she was even little. And she wanted to take on a monster for this recital. It was Liza Minnelli's birthday when we picked up this piece of music, and this is Cabaret in its original key.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book, and the broom. It's time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Come blow our horns, start celebrating. Rock this away on tables waiting. What good's permitting some prophet of doom to wipe every smile away? Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. And as for me, I made my mind up back in Chelsea. When I go, I'm going like Elsie. Start by admitting from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long a stay. Life is a cabaret, old chum. It's only a cabaret, old chum. And I love a cabaret.
Kate is one of my favorite people because she is constantly searching out the beauty in this world. Whether hiking with her family or teaching at church or teaching yoga or singing. She's a yoga teacher. You can find her in the comments. She's one of my favorite people. And this song, she really went all out and created a scene. This was a song cut from the musical Once on This Island at the beginning of the show when the mother and father character find a little girl who's been orphaned in a tree by a hurricane. And they decide to try to coax her down and to adopt her. And the mother looks at the father and asks him to step back just a little as she makes an attempt to coax this little girl out of the tree. So co-starring her little girl and her husband Daniel, who is now my new hero for playing the part of the bird in this music video. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Kate Lee.
Come down from the tree. Just open your arms and trust. You know in your heart that one of these days you must come down from the tree. It's easy to feel afraid and hard giving up that safe little nest you've made. When you have something so warm and familiar to cling to, your arms won't let go. You close your eyes to the dark, press your nose to the bark, and hold on. Yes, I know, but down below is where you must be, and what you were meant to do. So hold out your hand and listen to someone who was once in a tree like you. La 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 la. So you'll have someone so warm and familiar to cling to. that I held so dear. When I found my love, the rest of my life was clear. Come down from the tree. Come down. I'm here.
Next up is... Oh, this is Elaine. She's named after... This is one of my favorite people. Next up is Finn. Finn is one of the most amazing and creative artists that I know. He rescued a duck. He takes on the most amazing musical theater material, and he's brilliant on stage. He wanted to do something traditional classic musical theater. Sarah Bareilles, She Used to Be Mine, big old ballad from the stage. But when I got the video, I just loved it because it was so unexpected. He turned the she into something different. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite people. This is Finn.
It's not simple to say. Most days I don't recognize me, that these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons has taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything I used to be, although it's true I was never attention's sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. It's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two for that girl that I knew, who is reckless just enough, who gets hurt but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a man who can't love. Then she gets stuck and gets scared of the life that's inside her, growing stronger each day till it finally reminds her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone, but she used to be mine. Used to be mine. but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine.
We are so lucky to be able to teach such musical families. Next up is Tiago, Finn's brother. And Tiago has such a beautiful instrument and takes on the most interesting material and always up for a challenge. And boy, do I throw him some curveballs. So this one, he wanted to do Billy Joel's My Life, and he followed the music video instructions to the letter. What I asked was for him to just take the camera out somewhere where he finds solace during this quarantine time and give us a little 3-minute glimpse into what it's like in his life. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite people, this is Tiago.
Call from an old friend, we used to be real close. Said he couldn't go on the American way. Closed the shop, sold the house, bought a ticket to the West Coast. Now he gives them a stand-up routine in LA. You to worry for me, 'cause I'm alright. I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. Never said you had to offer me a second chance. I never said I was a victim of circumstance. I still belong. Don't get me wrong. You can speak your mind, but not on my time. Don't tell you can't sleep alone in a strange place. Then they'll tell you can't sleep with somebody else. Although sooner or later you sleep in your own space. Either way it's okay, you wake up with yourself. I never said you had to offer me a second chance. I never said I was a victim of circumstance. I still belong. Don't get me wrong. You can speak your mind, but not on my time.
You know why Lilia is one of my favorite people? A beautiful soul, such a sweet, powerful voice. And she plays the piano since she was little, like me. So we were talking about what song we wanted her to do for the recital. And one of the songs she was working on was the beautiful Leslie Bricusse ballad, Cheer Up Charlie, that Leslie Odom had kind of turned us on to from his solo album. And she said, you know, my dog's name is Charlie.
Cheer up, Charlie. What's happened to the smile I used to know? Don't you know your grin has always been my sunshine? Let that sunshine show. Come on, Charlie. No one needs to frown. Deep down, you know the world is still your toy. When the world gets heavy, never Peter Pan up and Adam boy. Someday, sweet as a song, Charlie's lucky day will come along. Till that day, you've got to stay strong. Charlie, upon top is right where you belong. Look up, Charlie, you'll see a star. Just follow it and keep your dreams in view. Pretty soon the sky is gonna clear up, Charlie. Cheer up, Charlie. Cheer up, Charlie. Just be glad you're you.
Next up is Jen. She's a new client to me, but she's one of my favorite people because she is like a Ferrari who's never been out of the garage. So she has a fantastic instrument that no one's really ever showed her how to use. So I started throwing some wonderful things at her in her first few weeks. So this is Jen and a surprise guest with Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and I think of you. Caught up in circles, confusion is nothing new. Flashback, warm nights, almost left behind. A suitcase of memories. Time after some time, you picture me, I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me, I can't hear what you've said. You say go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time, if you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting. Time after time, time after time, time after my picture fades and darkness has turned to gray. Watching through windows, you're wondering if I'm okay. Secrets stolen from deep inside. The drum beats out of time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time.
So you came to a recital, right? And there's some piano at this recital, right? How remiss would I be if I presented a recital without Fur Elise? And ladies and gentlemen, this is the young Tommy presenting Fur Elise. Now, I wanted to make it a little bit special, so I realized that this was a beautiful song, but in a normal bedroom with a keyboard, it could add a little something. So I have a special reverb plugin that recreates the actual ambience of Davies Symphony Hall in San Francisco. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tommy, one of my favorite people, as if he is in Davies Symphony Hall playing for you, Fur Elise. And Tommy, not the only talented piano player in the family. His sister Lily is one of my favorite people, and she has prepared a Disney song for us today. So I decided if I could put Lily in lots of places all over the world, for this song from Aladdin, she's playing in the Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, Lily. Another person who's new to me this year is Serena, but she's one of my favorite people because she just devours all the material I give her and does it so beautifully and so well. And she has a particular connection to Carole King's Beautiful, an anthem my mom used to sing to me from the 70s, and also one of the highlights of the Carole King musical Beautiful on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Serena.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. People gonna treat you better, they're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday window blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. People gonna treat you better, you're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. I have often asked myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. try. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. People gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel.
Xander is occasionally called the mini-me in our Contra Costa Musical Theater family. He's one of my favorite people, a darling young man who I've been able to watch grow up and has conquered some amazing things on stage in Billy Elliot, Matilda, Christmas Carol, Secret Garden, and the list goes on and on. So I decided I would throw something at him that was a little tricky and with a little extra bonus reward. One of the songs Joe gave me was Don't Put Your Daughter on the Stage, Mrs. Worthington by Noel Coward. Both wordy and crazy melodic. And Xander took it on in stride. So we decided to even create a little scene from a made-up show that we decided to invent. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Xander with Kim Vetterly on keys from Fantasy Studio, a session we did once. This is Xander.
Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage. The profession is overcrowded, and the struggle's pretty tough. And admitting the fact she's burning to act, that isn't quite enough. She has nice hands, give the wretched girl her due. But don't you think her bust is too developed for her age? I repeat, Mrs. Worthington, sweet Mrs. Worthington, don't put your daughter on the stage. Regarding yours, dear Mrs. Worthington, of Wednesday the 23rd, although your baby may be keen on a stage career, how can I make it clear that this is not a good idea for her to hope? Dear Mrs. Worthington is on the face of it absurd. Her personality is not in reality exciting enough, inviting enough for this particular sphere. Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage. She's a bit of an ugly duckling, you must honestly confess, and the width of her seat would surely defeat her chances of success. It's a loud voice, and though it's not exactly flat, she'll need a little more than that to earn a living wage. Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage. Though they said at the School of Acting she was lovely as Peer Gynt, I'm afraid on the whole inaugural would emphasize her squint. She's a big girl, and though her teeth are fairly good, she's not the type I ever would be eager to engage. On my knees, Mrs. Worthington, please, Mrs. Worthington, don't put your daughter on the stage.
Xavier's one of my favorite people. New to me this year, and Xavier takes on the biggest songs with the biggest smile on his face and the most beautiful spirit. So I decided for this, what a great song to connect to his little soul. Happy birthday, Xavier, by the way. Is Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are.
Don't go out changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar, and I don't say oh anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. took the good times. I'll take the bad times. I'll take you just the way you are. Don't go trying some new fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. You always have my unspoken passion, although I might not seem to care. I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. I need to know that you will always be the same old someone that I knew. Oh, but will it take till you believe in me the way that I believe in you? And I said I love you, that's forever. And this I promise from the heart. I couldn't love you any better. I love you just the way you
Recording is scary. It really is. And one of my favorite people, Marissa, was a little scared on how she was going to do it, how it was going to sound, how it was going to come out. And I actually got the tracks last night. And they're beautiful. You'll see her a little bit in the video on the swing, but mostly she just wanted to capture images and things that, for her, helped translate the song. And this is the Henry Mancini classic, Moon River.
River, wider than a mile,
You remember Xavier and Lily, the two kids that did their videos at Six Flags? They had one other song that they learned at a joint voice lesson this year that they also wanted to present because it was so fun and so best described them. So, Schlemiel Schlemazel, this is their encore.
Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way, nothing's gonna turn us back now. Straight ahead and on the track now. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way, there is nothing we won't try. Never heard the word impossible this time. There's no stopping us. We're gonna make it. On your mark, get set and go now. Got a dream and we just know now. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Nothing's gonna turn us back now. Straight ahead and on the track now. We're gonna make our dreams come true. And we'll do it our way, yes, our way. Make all our dreams come true. And we'll do it our way, yes, our way. Make all our dreams come true. For me and you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mia Whitfield, one of my new favorite people, and for a really good reason. The song she contributed to our recital tonight was original. Part of how she found me was she was at the end of a project of creating, writing, producing, and publishing a song that was in memory of her grandmother. And with just a few voice lessons under her belt, she created this amazing video, and I asked if I could share it here as part of our recital. So she's become one of my new favorite people. She just has a beautiful, strong, powerful voice and a spirit to match. Ladies and gentlemen, Mia Whitfield.
When I lost you, the world broke. Lightning ripped my heart. Winds whipped my body sideways, and I was torn apart. Grief came in a crashing wave and dragged me out to sea. Gasping, going under, missing what would never be. Time stood still for several months before I washed ashore. Light came to my long closed eyes, the skies had cleared once more. Sat up stiffly in the sand to look back to the sea, and saw your lonely driftwood heart come floating back to me. Each coming for memories like you were by my side. Pick up treasures, leave the wreck to wash out with the tide. It never will be easy for us to be apart. I press the driftwood to my chest. You're always in my heart. Got up to see the sunrise, walk barefoot to the shore. Stopped to roll my pant legs, still damp from times before. Found coral like your crooked smile when mischief's on your mind. Sun sparkling on the water like the twinkle in your eye. Each coming for memories like you were by my side. Pick up treasures, leave the wreck to wash out with the tide. It's never apart. I press the driftwood to my chest. You're always in my heart. Time smooth the scar that crossed my heart. Love soothe the pain that chained my soul. Wandering down the cliffside, the stairs are slick and wet. I reach down to take the hand of the child you never met. We run down to the water's edge to play tag with waves a while. Our laughter floats up with the breeze. The sun beams down your smile. Each coming for memories like you were by my side. Treasure joy and leave the pain to wash out with the tide. A rainbow lifts my spirits and the gloom begins to part. I blow a kiss out to the waves. You're always in my heart.
Oh, Natalie is one of my favorite people. She has close family members on Broadway, and I can see why. She has this insane, incredible instrument and a job that needs her to maintain some anonymity. So this is Natalie's recording of the theme to Disney's Gummy Bears.
Daring, courageous and caring, faithful and friendly with stories to share. All through the forest they sing out in chorus, marching along as a song fills the air. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears.
One of the best things about being a voice coach is sometimes you get to teach your favorite people. I was Melissa's confirmation sponsor when she was in high school and have known her a very long time and have been so thrilled to watch her marry Pat and have a baby this year, who I have yet to get to meet, but who's going to be a part of our recital this evening. This is Melissa and Miles and the Rainbow Connection.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and
Kaylee's one of my favorite people. Kaylee's one of the best people ever. And in college, Kaylee is studying to be a speech pathologist, which is really cool because the first few minutes of each lesson is us touching base with all the things that she's learning about the voice and the throat and how it relates to our vocabulary and our singing paradigm. She's also a Disneyland cast member and really good friends with Mickey and Minnie Mouse and hangs out with them a lot. So she clearly has a very innate and beautiful Disney-type spirit. So I dug into some things that I had found a couple of decades ago in the Disney archives, specifically the demo of a song by Alan Menken that he wrote to his best friend Howard Ashman as he lay dying. Sort of loosely intended to be in Aladdin, it eventually morphed into A Whole New World. But this is the version that was originally written. And to my knowledge, it's the first time it's been sung by a female. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaylee Sanderson.
Gonna make you proud someday. Gonna do great things, you'll see. Yeah, it's in the hands of fate now. Just wait now. I've got this destiny. My friend, you can count on me. We won't just get by. Hang on tight, and we'll have adventures. Wind in our sails. We'll slay the dragons, and we'll tell the tales. And then I'll pick a star from the sky, and all of our dreams will come true. 1, 2, 3. You can count on me. You can always count on me, 'cause I got lots of plans. So stick with me, and there will be riches, magical places, a private oasis out there in the sands. Till then, you keep on smiling through, and we'll get by on what's out there for free. You can count on me, 'cause I'll make you proud someday. 'Cause I've got this destiny, and I know that I'll make good now. I should now. You can count on me.
We're at the end. It's the last song. And it's sung by Rena, one of my favorite people, because she finds me these amazing songs from these amazing places. This one is from a Netflix movie called Over the Moon. It's sung by Philippa Sue from Hamilton, and I fell in love with it and was a little scared at what I would have to do with it because it was a giant orchestration. But I have some synthesizers that worked just perfectly, and hearing what her voice did with it, I knew we had to do something massive with this. So this is Rena. This is the last song of our showcase this evening. I'll be back at the end for a quick goodbye. But this is Rena, and this is Ultraluminary.
I'm the light every night in your world. Are you ready to watch me be legendary? 'Cause wish I made my clear light. First time you see tonight. So wish away, wish with all your eyes upon this radiant tide. The stars in the night, they flame from dust, born out of gravity and force they combust. And though they try in rivalry, they'll never shine bright as me. I'm the light every night in your world day. You revel in the glory of my beauty, ready to watch me be legendary. 'Cause I'm ultra luminary. Wow, welcome to Lunaria. Wow, so spectacular. Wow, super singular. 'Cause I'm so very, very extraordinary. The cosmic shine of my fine display can turn the night to day. I hear they say that the Milky Way can't help but envy me. I am the brightest star, superb, spectacular. It was a desert on the moon when we arrived, gathering all of my tears, heartbreak and sighs. Jade red of passion ignite and turn the night to radiant city of light. From tears I rise, you revel in the glory of my beauty, ready to watch me be legendary. 'Cause I'm ultra luminary. Welcome to Lunaria. Wow, so spectacular. Wow, super singular. 'Cause I'm so very, very extraordinary.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that's our recital for the night. I want to thank all of my clients who had such amazing courage to be here and to make these recordings for us. To all the rest of my clients who will do it next time and who commented and were here for us and as part of our support team, thank you for being here too. I want to thank Sarah Vincent, my beloved, for helping me put all of this together and keeping me sane through this process. And I want to thank all of you, our audience, for being here to enjoy everything that we've been here to put together. If you are interested in taking voice lessons, I will be opening up another day or two in my studio in the weeks to come. And there will be another recital online here at the same channel in July of this year. So I'm excited to start putting all that work together. Thank you for being here to meet some of my favorite people, and I hope to see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Action!
Stop. Then they'll tell you you can't sleep alone in a strange place. No, I did it wrong. Just.
How do you feel about yourself?
Great.
No animals were harmed in the making of this, but one of them was very annoyed. Yeah, it's big! Next up is Jen. She's a new client to me. And what I love about Jen... Wait, let's do that again. Next up is Jen. She's a new client to me, but she's one of my favorite people because she is like a Ferrari who's never been out of the garage. So she has a fantastic instrument that no one's really ever showed her how to use. So I started throwing some wonderful things at her in her first few weeks. So this is Jen and a surprise guest with Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time. Next up is Jen. She's a new client to me. And what I love about Jen... Wait, let's do that again. Next up is Jen. She's a new client to me, but she's one of my favorite people because she is like a Ferrari who's never been out of the garage. So she has a fantastic instrument that no one's really ever showed her how to use. So I started throwing some wonderful things at her in her first few weeks. So this is Jen and a surprise guest with Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time.